Okay, so it's time to sew our corners. This step is really pretty simple. There's nothing too complicated about it. You really just got to get in there and get it done. So following along with the pattern, I've already sewn the 1/2 inch seam allowance on my straight edges as far as I could go. So you'll see here, you really can't reach this corner until you clip it. So I've gone ahead and clipped out this side. You can see these little fringes here. And now that allows me to stretch this out and fit this into the corner. So our next step is going to be to come around and continue our seam. So I have my 1/2 inch seam marked here using my little guide. This piece of foam tape is my sewing guide. You could also use a magnet, a guide that clips into your presser foot, whatever you have. Okay, so a lot of you talked about trying to figure out how to get this piece under your machine, placement of it, and it's really just a matter of kind of fighting with it. So you'll want to go back and kind of go over some of your straight seam a little bit. We're going to try to line up our corner as best we can, and as you can see, I do have some puckers and some wrinkles in here. Again, that's going to happen. We're just going to do our best to try to avoid it. Now I have a fairly short seam length here so that we can really make tiny little stitches as we go around this corner and get it nice and smooth. If our stitch length is really long, it's going to be a little bit more jaggedy. Okay, so just continuing my straight seam there, and now I'm going to start into this curve. Just going to go slowly. Just going to kind of keep all this out of the way. If you need to, stop with your needle down, lift your presser foot, get in there and kind of get underneath, shift some of your excess bulk out of the way, smooth out some of your seams. Keep going. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. In the end, you're not going to see it that much. Keep going. Eventually, get back to your straight side. Go ahead and overlap your existing seam. Now you can see I have my 3/8 inch basting seam, my 1/2 inch seam right there. And we'll continue with the rest of the corners.